Hi, my name is Zach Simmons, and this is my final prediction video for the 2020 season. I've gone through every division. Now it's time to go through the playoffs, and I'll make my Super Bowl prediction right here, right now. Now, I have to admit, there's been no preseason. A lot of things can happen in the season as well. So a lot of these predictions right here, just kind of gutsy predictions. The division predictions, I take a look at personnel, I take a look at a few different things, but this is going to be a lot more guts, a lot more with what I'm feeling. Some of it might be justified, some of it might not be. So we'll go through it. So let's start looking at the AFC. So the seeding, this is how the seeding. Now remember, there's 7 seeds now because of the new playoff format. There'll be 3 wild card games in each division, so 6, or in each conference, 6 altogether. So the AFC, number 1 seed, well, we'll start backwards. Let's start backwards. Let's start with the 7th seed. 7th seed, I have the Raiders. I have the Raiders having kind of a surprise season. Raiders going to take that 7th spot. 6, I'm giving the Colts. Instead of the Titans, I'm giving it to the Colts. That was because of Phillip Rivers adding a veteran quarterback in there, I think can lead them over the Titans. Number 5, I have the Bills, who are just barely going to get that wild card spot. About a game or so behind the Patriots. Number 4, I have the Texans. Even with losing DeAndre Hopkins, as long as the receiving corps can stay healthy, I think they can definitely win division. So them, number 4. Number 3, because of Cam Newton, I have the New England Patriots. Before Cam Newton, I had that spot being the Bills. With Cam Newton there, that's going to give them that extra game advantage against the Bills. So Patriots, number 3. Baltimore, number 2. And the reigning champs, Chiefs, number 1. So once again, number 1 seed, Chiefs. Number 2, Baltimore. Number 3, Patriots. 4, Texans. 5, Bills. 6, Colts. 7, Raiders. So number 2, go against the 7. So Baltimore versus Raiders. Baltimore versus the Raiders. Baltimore's going to win that. Lamar Jackson does not look incredible in the playoffs. He looks... It's like 2 completely different quarterbacks. You have regular season Lamar Jackson, you have playoff Lamar Jackson. But going against the Raiders really haven't made the playoffs. And it's been a long time since the Raiders made the playoffs. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be a little bit more poised. He is going to beat the Raiders. So then we go to the number 3 to 6. Patriots versus the Colts. Even with Phillip Rivers, I'm going to pick the Patriots being the Colts. The last wildcard game, Texans versus Bills. Bills barely lost the last one they faced. I think they will have the upper hand this time around. Bills beat the Texans. So once again, Baltimore advances. They'll be going against the Patriots, who beat the Colts. And the Bills will take on the Chiefs. So division round, Chiefs versus Bills. Baltimore versus New England. I think the Chiefs can definitely overtake Buffalo. Josh Allen still isn't completely poised. He needs a little bit more work. And I think Patrick Mahomes, he's already got it. I think he has the upper hand easily. Barring injuries, you'll see the Chiefs beating the Bills. Now, Baltimore versus New England. If there's any other team, I think they can beat out New England. However, it's Baltimore. I love Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson definitely deserved to be MVP. However, when he's in the playoffs, like what I said, he's kind of a different quarterback. He's not the same kind of guy. And I think that's going to be a huge factor against New England. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done to get to the conference championship. So I do have the Patriots. Patriots-Chiefs, a rematch of the 2018 conference championship, where I do have the Chiefs winning. So Chiefs going on to the 2nd straight Super Bowl. So in case I was going too faster, let me kind of recap. Recap a little bit here. So division playoffs, Chiefs, number 1 seed, they get that spot already, guaranteed to be in the divisional round. Bills take on the Chiefs after beating the Texans. They lose to the Chiefs. Baltimore then, after beating the Raiders, goes against the Patriots, who beat the Colts in the divisional round. Patriots beat the Ravens to make it to the conference championship against the Chiefs. Patriots lose, Chiefs take it. Chiefs will represent the AFC in this year's Super Bowl. So now let's take a look at the NFC. The seeding I have goes like this. Number 7, the Falcons. Number 6, the Eagles. Number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 4, Green Bay. Number 3, Dallas. Number 2, New Orleans. And then the Seahawks with the number 1 seed. So then the wild card weekend would go like this. Saints will take on the Falcons. I think the Saints will have their number. They play against each other 2 times a year. I think the Saints will win that to advance to the divisional round. Cowboys then go against the Eagles, another good divisional playoff battle. And ultimately, I do have the Cowboys win out on this one. Cowboys take them and will go against the Saints divisional round. And Buccaneers will beat Green Bay. Buccaneers, I think, are the superior team, but the only reason they're down in seeding is because they don't win division. Packers did. So divisional round will go like this. Seattle goes against Tampa Bay, and the Saints go against Dallas. I have the Seahawks beating Tampa Bay. I love Tampa Bay, but this is a team that really hasn't spent any time together. The only players who really have any playoff experience is Tom Brady and Gronkowski. As great as Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are, they haven't played. They haven't played in the playoffs. This defense, they haven't played in the playoffs. It takes a lot more out of you when you're playing in the playoffs. And I don't think they're really completely prepared for that. I think the Seahawks, on the other hand, they have a lot of veterans who have been in the playoffs and know exactly the kind of pressure they're getting themselves into. Tampa, not necessarily, and that's going to put the edge to the Seahawks. The Seahawks make it to the conference championship. That brings us to the other game, Saints versus the Cowboys. I think the Saints end up beating the Cowboys. Saints, Seahawks, in the conference championship, which I do have the Seahawks winning that, going to the Super Bowl. So a quick recap there. Saints beat the Falcons. Cowboys beat the Eagles. Bucks beat Green Bay. Seattle takes on Tampa in the divisional round. Seattle wins. Saints take on the Cowboys in the divisional round. Saints win. Seahawks and Saints play in the conference championship, which ultimately leads to the Seahawks making it to the Super Bowl. So I have both 1 seeds there in the Super Bowl, Chiefs versus Seahawks, which I do have the Seahawks beating the Chiefs. The other NFC West team taking down the Chiefs. And I think a lot of it's going to be offense. When it comes to Kansas City, I think the mentality you're going to see with Seattle is, we're going to try to stop them, but we know that's probably going to fail, so let's just try to outscore them. Let's just try to outdo them on offense. When you have a guy like Russell Wilson, you have a lot of these quick receivers. I think you can definitely see that happening. So, in that case, Super Bowl Chiefs versus Seahawks. I have Seattle win division. We will see what happens tonight. One of those teams will be playing in prime time, the first game of the season, as the Chiefs take on the Texans. We'll see exactly what 2020 has for us. This is not taking into account injuries. This isn't taking into account really too much when it comes to personnel. We don't know what 2020 is going to look like yet. Especially with COVID, we don't know what the season could look like. You could see teams that have had a large playoff drought win division. You could see a lot of worst to first stories this season. So this can easily change, and I know I will be shocked if I get 3 of these matchups right. Be shocked if that's what happens. But without any knowledge, without seeing any preseason, without seeing any of these teams unfold, I mean, this is going to be the first time that we're going to be seeing a football team since February. Unless you want to count the XFL. But even then, when it comes to these teams, we haven't seen them since February. It's very unusual in September to not be able to watch any team, not see, okay, this player looks a little bit better than last year. We don't know. All we know is what the media says and what teams say, which some that can definitely be hyped up. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But it's going to be a fun season to watch. It's going to be fun to see how this story unfolds. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Please make sure that you subscribe. Please make sure you put down any comments. I know I probably got these things completely wrong. You might say, well, why in the world do you not have Tampa there? How do you not have the Saints in there? Why aren't the Titans in the playoffs? Definitely put those comments in there. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day.